Hi, my name is Imagine Davis Ward. I am a biochemistry and molecular biology major here at CBU, and I decided to do my Capstone PowerPoint project on 4,2-aminoethyl benzene diol, which is also known as dopamine. So what is dopamine? It consists of 8 carbons, 11 hydrogens, a nitrogen, and 2 oxygen molecules. It is derived from tyrosine, which is a naturally occurring amino acid in the body, and it is a major transmitter in the extrapyramidal system of the brain, and is very important in regulating, as we'll see later on in the PowerPoint. Dopamine is released into the brain through its exon terminal. When it binds with dopamine receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, it releases a signal to the brain saying, "You should feel satisfaction. You should feel reward." After the signal is delivered, the chemical is altered electrochemically and then released. And this process repeats over and over and over. Functions in the body. Dopamine can serve in numerous ways in the body, as we'll see. Function in the brain. Dopamine is known as the reward drug. Things like food, love, lust, accomplishments, drugs, gambling, pleasing behaviors, etc. all stimulate the release of dopamine into the brain. Have you ever noticed when you've been dieting for a week and then you're doing well, but then you crave that bowl of ice cream, and when you finally get it, you get this sense of reward, this sense of satisfaction? Was that because that bowl of ice cream releases dopamine? It releases that feeling. Same with studying very hard on the test and getting an A. You get the release of reward. You get the idea of satisfaction. This comes from dopamine. Dopamine is also frequently used in critically ill newborn infants for treatment of shock and cardiac failure. Sadly, there are a lot of newborns born to mothers who are addicted to drugs, hence the babies themselves being addicted to the same drugs. To help the babies go through their withdrawal symptoms, nurses administer dopamine to help the baby go through less of a shock, to help regulate the heart pressure and the blood flow of the baby. Diseases and disorders. Schizophrenia. The introduction of the first widely used antipsychotic, Thorazine, was in the 1950s. Because of this drug, a lot of schizophrenic patients were released from their mental institutions. But nobody knew why. In 1970, researchers understood that these typical antipsychotics worked as antagonists on the D2 receptors. So as we saw in the previous slide, that the dopamine binds to the receptors, and that's how we get the signal of rewards, right? Well, with this drug, it stops the dopamine from binding to the receptors. Or frankly, it kind of breaks the receptors so dopamine can bind to it. And this is how they realized that schizophrenia is largely caused by hyperactivity of brain dopamine systems. So when the brain has a whole bunch of dopamines just floating around and getting recepted, they start going through these mental changes, which is known as schizophrenia. They start hearing voices, they start going through weird phases, and we'll see this also. Drug addiction. Strong drugs like opiates attach to dopamine receptors like dopamine would. Cocaine, morphine, meth, codeine, and any type of amphetamine acts like dopamine. Now, as we just saw with schizophrenia, the active dopamine receptors and a whole bunch of dopamine, a whole bunch of cocaine can cause really bad mental health. You can see people who are addicted to drugs, they talk to themselves, they see things that are not there. It's because the hyperactivity of the dopamine. Dopamine is a great thing, but when abused, it can be very harmful. And we're not even talking about physical attributes. This is the end of my PowerPoint. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about dopamine. If you guys are interested in learning about dopamine, just Google it and Google serotonin and get really involved into chemistry. Thank you guys, and you have a great day. Bye bye.